Welcome to episode 4 for the season. Lots of wonderful things again to show you. What I thought I'd start with were the apples. Early Blaze, similar variety to Red Delicious. I've mentioned those before. They've got a very light, delicate texture. Not mega crunchy. What are mega crunchy are the galas. That's the size for the week and they're brilliant. And we've also got a variety called Mutsu. Similar to a Granny Smith, similar in texture and taste, also a new season. Also fresh off the tree, two varieties of pears. We've got the Claps, that's a variety of pear, you didn't know that I'm sure, and then we've also got Williams New Season, which are a greener style. They're both about the same size, and not that dissimilar in eating. Now, the first really bad news for the year, I have to tell you, is the local blueberries are finished. Season was cut short with all that heavy rain at the end of last week, so basically the little berries gone popping, can't handle all that moisture. So look, it's all over Red Rover for the locals. However, we've now started then buying the fully certified blueberries. These are from Victoria, their season's well underway. On the downside, not as well priced as the local. They're a bit more expensive, but on the positive side, they're brilliant. Look at the size of them, almost a grapefruit, and they're really sweet. They're very good, but look, you will pay a bit more for them. I may have indicated in an earlier video that I'm a plumist. As far as I'm concerned, there's really only one plum for me. That's the sugar plum. They're almond in shape. They've got like a real crunchy kind of texture. And they're very sweet. Sugar plum is a great name for them. They started last week, and I'd say they're about 80% of their sweetness. So they'll get a little bit better as the season kicks in a bit further. But for me, that's the plum to eat. I'm trying to be a little bit more broad-minded and accept other plums into my life. These blood plums here are very sweet. It's that typical plum texture, which is nice, soft, sweet and juicy. They're actually really nice. Black ambers, yellow inside. Narembeen plums, a couple of days away from eating their best. They're a nice yellow fleshed plum. Slightly larger plum, also yellow fleshed. Moderately sweet, I'd say. Nowhere near as sweet as the blood plums or the sugar plums. Nashi pear, nice large pieces. Again, look, that's the first of the season, they're fresh off the tree. As for grapes, same villains as last week. We've got the red globes, we've got the Menindee seedless, and the sweetest of them all presently in the flame seedless. Also a great one for the kids because there's no seeds. I think we haven't seen for a little while, but we've got some new season lemons, quite large pieces. We had a week without cherries, half a week without cherries. A little bit distressing, but they're back. This variety are Lapins. They're from Tasmania. They're large, they're sweet, they're a treat, and not long for this world. Not because I'm standing near them, but because the season's about over, so another couple of weeks I reckon, and they'll be all gone. Mangoes, a little bit backwards this week, so if you're buying early in the week, they'll be ready for the end. Kensington Pride, also not long for this world. Peaches this week, they're absolutely massive. They're from Brook Kelly, down at Young. He's one of the best stone fruit growers in the country. They're a couple of days away from eating, so I'm not going to bite one, but typically his fruit's fantastic. Again, it seems a little early to be talking about citrus, but we've got yellow grapefruit. You can see it's reasonable sized pieces. Avocados, medium to large I'd describe them as, and firm. And bananas, again average size pieces, still got quite a bit of green in them, but with the warm weather of course, ripening happens reasonably quick. First thing I'd like to talk about with vegetables, the tomatoes from Gresford. We've got tons of them. We've got Romas, Mortgage Lifter. We've also got Black Russian. And each and every one of those are $3.99 a kilo this week, largely because Trish has got plenty on. more than they can handle, so we've taken a bucket load and we're going to pass on the price. So great time for tomatoes. Also at that price are the cherry tomatoes from Rainbow Hill Organics at Clarencetown, so another local product, $3.99 a punnet. We've got beans from the same grower as last week. Look, plenty of you took the advice on the beans last week and I bet you loved them. They were great. Same again this week, young fresh beans. Cos lettuce, lovely small pieces, lovely fresh and crisp. Sold to the buyer in the green shirt. Haven't got any here to show you because it's still on the vine, but we've got fresh cucumbers, fresh apple cucumbers coming from Pinehaven Organics, and also the fresh green cucumbers coming from Pinehaven Organics. Now, I didn't mention it earlier in the fruit, but we've also got watermelon coming from Chris. His watermelon last year was brilliant. They're going to be nice large pieces, so we'll cut you a wedge, whatever size you like. And look, the price is going to be the best price we've had for watermelon all year. It's been one of those years where watermelon hasn't come down at all. Possibly because of the drought, mind you, that's well and truly broken now. So look, what's my train of thought? The watermelon will be great. Zooks, nice sized pieces. Carrots, generally smaller, but we've also got a couple of boxes of larger pieces. We're meaning to talk about these for a couple of weeks now. These are coming from Stanthorpe up in Queensland. They're NASA certified. These are eschalots. Now, eschalots are a member of, I think, of the onion family. They're certainly a bulb, but they actually present more like garlic. You can use them in the same way as either, so you can bake them or into casseroles or slice them into stir fries, that kind of thing. And I guess the flavour is kind of reminiscent of both mildly garlic-like and that kind of oniony flavour. Not to be confused with shallots. Echalot? Shallot. Though Lorraine from Pinehaven will argue differently. Once again, the spuds are the best they've been, you know, in a long time, and the variety, the range is increasing. So we've got Sebago, Pontiac, Nicholas, some Desiree, Dutch cream chats. Never had them before, but we had these last night. I didn't know they were Dutch creams, and we just boiled them, and a bit of butter and a bit of seaweed gamasio on top, and they were divine. Also on special this week we've got grey pumpkin, sometimes known as Jarradale. So, you can see it's got great colour inside. $1.95 a kilo. Last couple of things in greens. The salad mix, it's got some, you know, all sorts of things, rocket, red mignonette, you can see baby beetroot leaves in there, from Ladybird Organics, and the wild rocket, also great for salads. These bags sound more plastic than plastic itself, but they're actually corn based, so you can, you know, throw that in the garden and it'll break down. Celery, smaller sized pieces this week.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to bring back to that.
Something we haven't seen for in a great abundance for a little while. Snow peas. Look, beautiful snow peas. As a back to school special, we thought we'd do slabs of the Douglas Park organic apple juice. 24 in a slab. Good dates on them. These are $34.95 for the 24. Don't ask me to do the maths to break it down into a unit price, but you know, just something that is great to put in the kiddies' lunch boxes. No added sugar. Now, for every one of you who's watched this video, if you can type into, when you place your order online, or you do it over the phone, mention where our watermelon will be coming from this week, a particular farm, there'll be a little treat in your box for you, perhaps a little clue behind here as to what we might put in there for you. So, from which farmer is our watermelon coming this week?